Hi, my name is Deepak, and I want to show you two pivot hacks that will help you definitely in your day-to-day life. So we have this sales table, and let's create quickly a pivot. Alt DP. I pressed Alt DP to create a pivot shortcut. Covered all the table, selecting and enter. Right click, pressing the cursor on here, right click and go to pivot table. I would choose from display this classic table layout. Quickly I will pull the category in rows, and I would find region. Now I will need unit, cost, markup, selling price and revenue. Okay, so we have now our pivot table. Okay, so the task is that many a times if you may have come across that we are supposed to perform some calculation in next to the table of our pivot. Maybe it's we look up sum or any percentage calculation. We do, and we are able to do it very easily. But the problem is in that case, in case if we are, we need to move any field from one section to another. For example, uh, if I move my region field to filter, that calculation which you had performed here is distorted. It is broken, and then you have to figure out something about it. So let's find a way and how we have this done in a better way. So let's put the cursor here and go to pivot table analysis, field item in calculation section, field item in set, click on calculated field. Let's give it a name. Okay, so I'm going to create a column, a field in the pivot table called product margin. So product margin formula is the markup value divided by total revenue. So I will find the field markup, insert. After selecting this, click insert. Okay, now I will find the field total revenue. Before click on insert, I would put the sign of divide, and then I click insert. Now markup divided by total revenue. Okay, so we have that field, newly field added inside the pivot table. I would select, because this is not in a proper format, I would go home and journal, click on percentage. So now all values are in percentage. My product margin has been calculated for each of them. Now this field always would lie, would act as if it's a part of pivot table. And good part is, in that case, if you move your fields one section to another, this field is still work fine. This will not break. Yes. So you happen to choose all your regions here, it will still work. So that's the good part of it. I hope you like this trick. And second trick is, if you have this pivot table, any pivot table for that matter, and I would choose another field here, let's say order ID, and we have order ID in this pivot table. Yeah, and there are many order IDs, you see, and for weird reason you are asked by your superior or by your manager to create a sheet for each user ID. In your case, it can be any value of the table. In this case, just for example, it's order ID. I want to create a sheet with its respective fields and the value. So it's a very quick tip how we can create sheets in one go. So first of all, the value or the field for which we need to create sheets, we pull this and bring it to the filter section, and then we go to pivot table analysis, analyze, and click on pivot table on here, and then we go to option. Let me make it a little bigger for you to just to so pivot table option, click on show report. Now it asks again if you want to create sheets for this field selected here. We say okay, give it a second or some few seconds it will take depending on your number of fields. Now you see it has created magically all orders IDs sheets individually for its respective value. Yeah, you see, in a matter of few seconds. So that was my second trick. I hope you liked it. Thank you and have a nice day. See you. Bye.